Look at the difference in the sky, blue skies, warmer temperatures. Jeremy Seewer over the foxhole shot line. Used that bank to the outside to his full advantage. Valentin Guillot going down, though, at the first turn. By the time we got to turn 3, though, it was Jorge Prado on the Red Bull Gas who took over the lead. Seewer was second, his teammate Coldenhoff was third. Febvre was in around 4th place, and then we had Van Donnik and Herlings, who found his way past the Belgian to move into 5th position. Then, watch this, just to the bottom right, Febvre thrown away 4th position, and a fantastic opportunity to challenge for the lead. He picked himself up in 13th, would get back to 11th as Ruben Fernandez fell, not for the first time in the race. Picked himself up and fell again, and this time he was out of the race, bent and damaged handlebars, meant he would not finish, and it was a frustrating race for the Spaniard as well, who arrived here second in points. Maxime Renaux fell from 5th position whilst challenging Herlings, picked himself up quickly, got himself back past Van Donnik, who went by there. But then Herlings started to close in on the 2 Yamahas. Seewer in 2nd, and Coldenhoff in 3rd. Made that move to move into that 3rd place, and then into 4th, Calvin Verlanderen, as he was latching onto the rear wheel of the 84. Then Seewer had this moment, front end snatched out of his hands, threw him out the front door. He picked himself up and would refinish the race in 6th place. Maxime Renaux went round the outside, inside combo to move past his teammate Coldenhoff. That put him into 4th place. Coldenhoff eventually came home in 5th, but no one a match for Jorge Prado. 12 seconds his lead at one point. He backed it off to win comfortably his 65th career race win. Herlings was 2nd, Verlanderen 3rd. And it was his 2nd race win of the campaign. Anyway, a few moments ago, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid. She caught up with the number 91 Monster Energy Yamaha, Jeremy Seewer.
We're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2. I really want to chat to Jeremy Seewer. Jeremy, I feel like these interviews just seem always negative, and I'm asking you about your difficult races, but it was a difficult one, wasn't it, that first race, despite some great racing from you?
I mean, actually it wasn't, you know, I had the whole shot and I followed Jorge for half of the moto or more. Like, I felt great out there, like had a good rhythm and was in P2 and made a very small mistake which costed me big, you know, another crash, and yeah, I got dropped back, and I think I didn't get the position I deserved in that one, you know, but I, you know, keep working, keep just pushing forward, and I have everything to make it happen. Just need a bit of patience, but I'm still looking forward for the second one now.
Jeremy, can you explain the physical nature of this track? Because often hard-packed tracks are seen as almost like the easier surface to ride. But what makes a sand track like this so technical, so difficult, and so difficult to master?
It's just there is no place to rest here. You know, you are working in every corner, even on the jumps. The face-off of the jumps are so tough, and yeah, it's physically incredible. I think even tougher than Lommel or something, just because of the way that the sand and the track and the layout is. It's just, yeah, it's heavy stuff. Our heart rates are to the limit here, this is sure.
Well, best of luck with this final race. It's Jeremy Seewer there. Good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 2.
Yeah, and you can't see from our TV images how brutal and how physically and mentally demanding this racetrack is. Any sand track, but this one is tough. Here's calendar. Look at all those countries perfectly illuminated. We've only had one checked out at the moment, but the second round will be done after this race in Sardinia. 2 weeks' time we head to Switzerland. That's Friday and Monday, Easter weekend, and then a short week before we head to Trentino, back to the Saturday, Sunday. And then, as you can see, all the way to the end of the season, 1st of October, Matterley based in Great Britain, 1 week before the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at Renaux in France. Well, after the first race where Jorge Prado, let's start first of all, arrived here 2 points clear of Ruben Fernandez. He then opened up a bit of a gap to 7 points after the qualifying race as we look at the focus on Jeffrey Herlings. But after race 1, Jorge Prado here has extended his lead to 14 points. Jeffrey Herlings now second. Romain Febvre 11 points behind Jeffrey Herlings. And then Maxime Renaux just 2 behind his fellow Frenchman. And there is Maxime Renaux. So he lines up behind the gate but he's fourth in the championship, just 2 behind Febvre. Then Fernandez has dropped to 5th, 5 behind the Frenchman. Can he rebound and bounce back from that race 1 disappointment? Jorge Prado on pole then, after winning back-to-back qualifying races this year, the Ram qualifying race. And alongside him will be Glenn Coldenhoff, Jeffrey Herlings, Brent Van Donnick. Great ride for the JM Honda rider. Renaux and Febvre, then Ruben Fernandez, Jeremy Seewer, Calvin Melandra, Mattia Guadagnini, Benoit Paturel, Maxime Renaux, and the rest of the riders, as you can see. Jorge Prado has never won here in Sardinia. Second overall in 2021 with 2 second-place finishes, 2 thirds here for second overall last year. He was victorious in race 1. Can he stand on the top step of the podium? What about Glenn Coldenhoff? You never know in this game, MXGP. You can have a mixed bag of results and you can win the overall classification, but he finished the race 5th in race 1. Jeffrey Herlings was just patient in race 1, coming home in 2nd place. Red Bull KTM rider, well, he was sore the next morning after Argentina. I wonder how much more sore he will be going home tonight, tomorrow morning. Brent Van Donnick, JM Honda Racing. Solid ride for him. Eventually came home in 9th in race 1, but loves these conditions. And Renaux and Febvre threw away a bag full of points when he was in 4th on the opening lap, picked himself up. He was in 10th, but Mattia Guadagnini found his way by on the final lap. Ruben Fernandez, Team HRC, won the Grand Prix in Argentina, round 1. But arrived here just 2 points behind Jorge Prado because of those qualifying race points adding on to the championship. But he had a difficult first race. Can he turn things around here in race 2? Fly Racing, 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. MXGP race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. First foxhole shot the day went to Jeremy Seewer, his first of the campaign. 5-second borders turn, all the big hitters towards the inside gates. And a good, clean run for Seewer once again. Melandra right there with him, and Febvre on the inside. But once again, Jeremy Seewer or Febvre, very, very close between those two. Seewer leads, but just like race 1, he's out-dragged, this time by his teammate towards the end of the straight. Maxime Renaux bursts into the lead, or is it Coldenhoff? Febvre 3rd. Coldenhoff it is who leads. Seewer 2nd, Febvre 3rd. Prado in 4th. This will be a real test of the Spaniard's mettle. He loses a position there to Fernandez, who goes up the inside of your winner from race 1. Had a clear track in the first race, opened up a 12-second advantage, being passed around the outside by Brent Van Donnick as well. Not used to getting ruffled up like this, so he's going to have to dig deep as the 61. Finds his way past Van Donnick and quickly past Fernandez. Gets himself back up into, what, 4th place. Frantic lap for your winner from race 1. And championship leader right in the thick of it on the opening lap. As Coldenhoff already turning on the afterburners here and putting clear of his teammate. There is Renaux. He is behind Fernandez in 7th position. Van Donnick trying to find his way through the inside. Where is Herlings? He is in 14th place. Wow, he's got some work to do. 3 abreast as they head towards the Ram Waves. And Renaux finds his way past Fernandez. And so too does Van Donnick around the outside. 5th and 6th place now for Renaux and Van Donnick. Calvin Melandra trying to find a way through. Fernandez back past the Belgian. Frantic stuff on this opening lap. Pulls Jonas in there, in around about 9th position. On the standing construct Honda, there he is. A bobble there for Van Donnick. Does it cost him time? Well, he closes down, he senses the danger. But Valandren may swing around the outside and take advantage at the top of the hill. He does, but it's a little bit choppier to the inside. But don't tell Valandren that. Oh! Fernandez! No! He's down again! It has been one of those days for Ruben Fernandez. Just caught an edge on takeoff, landed in a hole, it swapped one side to the other, and just like that, Fernandez down again. So Coldenhoff, he leads by almost 3 seconds. Febvre is second, Febvre third. Prado here coming towards us now. Lead rider in shot, 61. He is fourth. Renaux is fifth. Valandren sixth, just at the back of that group. As Febvre gets undone there. So Coldenhoff, Febvre, Renaux now, Prado, then Renaux up to fourth. Sorry, up to fifth, is he? Hang on, let's, Coldenhoff, Febvre, Febvre third, Prado fourth. And then Renaux there in fifth place. Valandren sixth, Van Donink seventh. Jonas, Paturel, Herlings now up to 10th, 4 positions gained. But remember, he started this race 14 points behind that man there in terms of the championship battle. Febvre leapfrogging Herlings as it stands right now in the points chase. But as you can see, 26 minutes plus 2 to go. There is an eternity left to run in this race. Side by side. Febvre takes second place, gets alongside Febvre and just muscles the Swiss out of the way. Febvre now on a charge up into second place. And a little bit out of shape there, going to cost him some time, the number 91. Sorry, can somebody put out the call to the search party, because we've lost Glenn Coldenhoff. He's about 5 seconds further up the track and out of sight. We can't see him. There he is, look, top of the screen. He has got his head down, said, I don't want any part of this battle behind me. Prado under attack from Renaux, though. This is the fight for fourth place. Whoa. And Renaux down the inside of Prado. This is the problem when he doesn't make that good start. His dad's words, not mine. When I spoke to him in Argentina, get him a good start. He's used to that. He's not used to being in these situations. Just finding it difficult to find those key moments on the track to make those passes happen. Could cost him some points as well. The important thing is, though, he'll still be leading the championship. That's what he'll be thinking at the end of this. That's what he'll be hoping for anyway. So Coldenhoff leads. Febvre now up to second. Febvre down to third. Renaux up to fourth. Prado now down to fifth place, and he's under attack from Valandren in sixth. And there was a mistake there from Prado as well. Just a little bit too long getting through that third turn, and Valandren has capitalised, and he moves past and into fifth place. Two factory Yamahas of Renaux and Febvre, third and fourth. And then, where is Prado? Top of the... Oh, he stalls it. What a strange place to stall a motorcycle. Is he back in the race, yes or no? Well, he's in sixth place then. So it was just a quick stall. There he is in the background. Van Donink behind him, Herlings behind him. Herlings knows the fight in the championship at the moment before he went out to this race between him and Prado, but they've not ruled out Romain Febvre either. Very tight. Herlings on 84 points. Pints maybe as well after this one. But the number 10 there, just making a couple of mistakes. Calvin Valandren loses contact with Renaux. Febvre just ahead of him. Right, there's Prado in the background. So we've got Coldenhoff leading, Febvre second. He sets the fastest lap last time around. Watch this here. Round the outside. And then it was very tight, wasn't it? There, look. Oh, tell you what, teammates, what teammates? And that was the same time that Verlanderen got himself up the inside of Prado. So Coldenhoff leads, Febvre second, Renaux third, Seewer fourth, Verlanderen up to fifth. We saw that a lap ago. All of a sudden, Prado sixth, Herlings there in seventh, has got Prado ahead of him. Van Donnick has been dispatched. Jonas 9th, Ferrato 10, Patrell and Bogas 11th and 12th, because Ferrato on a charge on the SM Action Yuasa battery KTM. Hernandez in the points after his crash at the top of that straight a couple of laps ago. Wow, we're going to have a championship this year, aren't we, folks? 2021 was memorable, a three-way fight right the way to the final round. And then two riders tied on points going into the final race, the final round in Mantova. This man won out in the end over Renaux and Febvre for his 5th world title. And we are going to have a similar situation, I think, because even though Jorge Prado is leading the way, we've seen enough that it's not going to be plain sailing for anybody in this championship campaign. There will be ups and downs, peaks and troughs. The odd roller coaster ride along the way. One race at a time, though, will be the key. Oh, Verlanderen closing in on Seewer now, just ahead of these guys. Glenn Coldenhoff still 3 seconds clear. He sets his fastest lap of the race, a 1:52.7 that time around, lap 4. Febvre at 53.3, the gap now back to 2.8 seconds. 53.9 for Renaux. 55.2, his fastest lap, Seewer. But Verlanderen quicker still in the 54s. Throw the flag out now. Coldenhoff wins the Grand Prix by a point over Prado. He could do with the favour from Herlings, I think. Ah, Verlanderen gets alongside Seewer, who was a little bit untidy when he came into land. Oh, and Verlanderen just a little bit over-exuberant. He lost the front. He wasn't backing out. Then he ended up going down. Breathing space for 91. Jeremy Seewer, he hangs on to 4th. Prado goes past as well, and no doubt Herlings and Van Donnick will have to wait and see where he re-emerges. But Verlanderen, you cannot knock the effort that the South African then put into that bit of riding. There's Prado. Oh, did he pick himself up? I think he did, just in the nick of time, maybe just in front of Herlings. He did, in 6th place. So Seewer hangs on to 4th. Verlanderen only losing 1 position. Jeremy Seewer just looking a little bit laboured. Prado starting to close in again on the number 91. That'll boost him and his morale, because there'll be another 2 World Championship points on offer. Verlanderen did all the hard work. Got it all to do again. Loves these kind of conditions, though. $18 minutes. Plus 2 to go. MXGP of Sardegna, MXGP race 2. Coldenhoff, well, tell you what, his lead's coming down. 2.3 now between him and Febvre, who was about a half a second quicker. And here is Febvre, Kawasaki Racing Team. There, you just saw a flash of Coldenhoff in the opposite direction. All of a sudden, Renaux and Febvre getting a sight of a blue carrot from the Netherlands. Glenn Coldenhoff putting some distance between himself and Renaux. That gap 5.5 seconds here to the 3rd place Frenchman. bottomless sand, absolutely brutal. You just hear them just rolling off, feathering the throttle through that turn. Maxime Renaux, fourth in race one, eyeing up a podium here. First of the season for him. Remember the podium? Whoa, came up short there. Did Maxime Renaux. Podium in Argentina, Ruben Fernandez, Jeffrey Herlings, Jorge Prado. This weekend is looking at the moment like Glenn Coldenhoff, Jorge Prado, Maxime Renaux. Depends what happens here with Herlings, because he's 2 points behind in that podium fight at the moment. Renaux on 38, Herlings on 36, Valandren on 35. So that is an undecided third step as it stands right now. Possibly even second step, because Valandren all over the back of Prado once again. He's broken free from Herlings, and he's going after fifth place. Is the Gavin van Venrooy Yamaha rider, and going for that momentum. Coldenhoff and Febvre separated by 2.5 seconds now, 2.4 in fact. Prado goes defensive. The right line for now. Cost him time a couple of laps ago when Valandren got the better of him. Siwa, though, is under attack from the Spaniard and the South African. Siwa in fourth place here, the lead rider in this shot. Well, they're queuing up behind him as well, aren't they? They can't afford to waste too much time, because look there, lurking in the background, number 84, Jeffrey Herlings in 7th place. You can't take your eyes off of it, can you? Herlings just starting to wind his way back into contention. Fourth rider in shot now in the background there. Valandren shows a bit of a front wheel to the outside to Prado. And he will get the momentum around the outside here. Both riders dance through the turn, but it's Valandren who stays lower over the next jump. It cuts to the inside. Can he find his way into fifth position? Yes, he can. He closes down the door immediately. Valandren back into fifth. Prado impatient to find his way back past the number 10. Working their way towards the end of lap 7. Coldenhoff now 1.6 seconds clear of Renaux and Febvre. Renaux third, 8.5 seconds further back. Siwa fourth, Valandren to the outside, top of your screen. He is up to fifth, Prado down to sixth, Herlings right there lurking in the background in seventh. Van Donnick about 6 seconds further back in eighth, Verato 9, Patrel 10, Jonas 11, Lupino on the MRT Racing Team Beta. He's in 12th, Bogus 13th now, having been passed by the Italian Lupino. Guadagnini 14th, he's found his way past Watson. Then we've got Fernandez 16th, then Tom Cock, Kevin Brumman, Alvin Osland, Max Spies. Wow. Just pushing his luck with the front end there, Siwa. Through that right-hander, the wrong side of the stability in the burn. Prado on 100 points, 15 clear of Herlings at the moment. Febvre 3 points further back. That's the top 3 in the championship standings. Halfway round lap 8. Valandren all over the back of Siwa. These two fighting over 4th position. Brutal day at the office for some. There's your podium as it stands right now. Coldenhoff 41, Prado on 40, Renaux 38. But that third place looking a little bit precarious at the moment for the Frenchman. Wow, good response from Coldenhoff. 3.5 seconds clear all of a sudden at the head of the field. Look at this here. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. All on the same straight, about 100 metres separating them. Jeremy Seewer, Calvin Villana and Jorge Prado and Jeffrey Herlings. The Red Bull KTM going after the Red Bull Gas, who was just a little untidy through those holes. Nine laps, or 8 laps complete. We're on lap 9. Race 1, a 17-lapper. So about the halfway mark. Motocross riders, possibly deemed the fittest in the world. Jeremy Seewer saying, when Lisa Leyland asked him at the start of the race, you know, what makes a sand track like this so difficult? He said it's just the overall physicality of it all, because you are working every part of the racetrack, even in the corners, even with the jumps, because you have to hit you see the ruts on the faces of the jumps there? You have to be straight, you have to be in control, you have to wheelie onto the face of the jumps when there's some deep ruts there. It's about the landing, because if you're too short, you're in all that back roof, so that's heavy. All the corners, there is no let-up. Add to that what used to be a smooth track, and now you've got all these treacherous holes and waves. Breathing, you just have to deal with it. You're fighting all of the time. Even Jorge Prado in race 1, who made it look so easy when he got his lead out to about 12 seconds. Here he is, also, inverted commas, struggling a little bit, and he's in 6th place because everybody else around him, such good sand riders, they make it look so easy, but they are fighting. They are having a nightmare of a time out there. Even Jeffrey Herlings still riding himself into fitness. Down in 7th place. Meanwhile, the gap less than 2 seconds once again between Glenn Coldenhoff and Renaux and Febvre. Febvre won the final race of the year in Turkey last year, got himself on the podium, of course, coming back from injury. Second half of the year. Glenn Coldenhoff, the winner of race 2 in Finland last year, so that's what, mid-August 2022. And Herlings, decisive to the inside, finds his way past Jorge Prado, moves into 6th place. Are we going to see a little bit of Jeffrey time in the same way that we used to see Tony time? 10 minutes plus 2. Is there a little magic switch there that's just been flicked? Does he believe he can break inside the top 3 or 4 in this race with 9.5 minutes plus 2 to go? He'll be smart to latch onto the rear wheel of Calvin Villana, that's for sure, because he will get dragged along up to the rear wheel of Jeremy Seewer, just around the corner there. But he's got to get onto the rear wheel of the number 10 and then find his way past. Not easy to do with Villana, who's such a good sand rider as well. Prado now in 7th place. Ten laps complete. The leaders, Coldenhoff and Febvre, concertinaing. That gap going up and down like a yo-yo, back out to 3.1 seconds. Every time Febvre gets clear, Coldenhoff responds accordingly. Either that or it's a mistake from the Frenchman. Harry Norton, closest to the camera. Ex-Tom Vial mechanic. Now Jeffrey Herlings mechanic. As Wayne Banks moves upstairs. Seewer under attack once again. From Villana. Got to jump your way through there so that outside works a little bit better, and Herlings knows that. Use that to his advantage. Already putting 3.3 seconds between himself and Prado, who's just there in the background. Getting a little bit of drizzle. A little light drizzle on the old camera lens there. Be a nightmare for the visibility. Definitely getting a little bit cloudy and moody over there, so will we be due some rain in the latter stages? That'll be a nightmare for visibility. Well, nothing wrong with Herlings' visibility right now as he carves down the inside of Valandren, picks him off and takes 5th position away. Next rider in his line of sight, the number 91, Jeremy Seewer. This would be for 4th place. He's about 7 seconds behind his teammate Maxime Renaux, who sits there in 3rd place. Renaux and Febvre currently in 2nd, now 4.3 seconds behind Coldenhoff, and there's why. Slight mistake through that long left. Same place where he fell in race 1 almost. So Coldenhoff enjoying 4.3 seconds at the head of the field at the moment. Renaux is in 3rd place. Seewer 4th. Herlings here in 5th place. Not a lot in it between them, as you can see. Oh, good drive there for the Red Bull KTM. Almost alongside the Monster Energy Yamaha. He'll go to the inside here just to do something different. Nicely cut to the inside there. Currently, having a word with the bank over on the far side, Jeremy Seewer leaves the door open. Herlings goes through. Already got alongside him anyway. And Herlings now up in the 4th place. Watch this here. Seewer all the way over to the left and then gets into the bank, look, and just can't get out of it. But Herlings was already up the inside and there was no way back for the Swiss after that. So Herlings, 1:53.3, sets his fastest lap last time around. So too did Seewer. We've got wave yellows here, the other side of the jump. Back marker there. But Maxime Renaux last time around was a 54.7. So more than half a second, 6/10, something like that, off of Herlings, who's now got clear track. That's Arminas Jasikonis on the Millionaire Gas just ahead of him. Good to see AJ back, just riding his way into fitness. But 5.8, almost 6 seconds now. Glenn Coldenhoff has over Renaux and Febvre. What, 5.6? Doesn't look across to his left, just relying on the board signals. Monster Energy Yamaha rider. Became a dad just before he took off for Argentina. Sure, his wife, Nikki C, at home. Sat there with the new one, Faye. Keeping an eye on what's going on here. But it's not done yet. 41 points, Coldenhoff, 40 Herlings, 39 Prado, 38 Renaux. That's how they stand with about 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Herlings 5.5 seconds behind Renaux. If he finds his way past the Frenchman, that gives him 2 points more. He will win the Grand Prix. There is nothing else Coldenhoff can do other than go out and just try and win the race, pick up 25 points. He'll leave here 5th overall in the championship, a climb from 9th. Looking smooth though, isn't he? Wasted no time getting alongside his teammate Jeremy Seewer coming out of turn 3 on the opening lap past pit lane. Opened up his advantage over Renaux and Febvre. It's now 7.7 seconds at the penultimate splits before the end. Whoa, just a bit of a warning there though. Came in, tough landing, back end just stepped out. But 13 laps complete now. Maxime Renaux, basically the 2 corners between the finish line. There's Febvre over the finish line now, Renaux, and then in the top of his screen is Jeffrey Herlings. So that's the gap between 3rd and 4th, and the difference between who wins the Grand Prix. 56.9 lap time for Coldenhoff. Herlings 55.3. He was a couple tenths slower than Renaux that time around, so he's still hovering around about 5.8 seconds. Look, as you can see on screen. He's going to have to put in a pretty hefty shift if he is to close down that gap, take Renaux, pick his pocket, and deny Coldenhoff a Grand Prix victory here. It's deceptive, isn't it? There's Renaux out of sight there. There's Herlings a little bit deep, surfing on the front end. Coldenhoff victorious at the Grand Prix in Finland last year, the same place where he won the second race that got him the overall victory, the same day that Tim Geiser became world champion for a 5th time. Gap 5.3, 4.2 now between Renaux and Herlings. It is definitely squeaky bum time, isn't it? Renaux can't afford to switch off. Herlings doesn't want to. And Renaux is closing in on Febvre. And that is perfect timing. Well, a bit of a mistake there, but perfect timing for Renaux and Febvre. If he ever needed a boost in concentration, just to give him that gap. But look at Herlings closing in fast. It's going to be 3 laps to go, because Coldenhoff lap time 1:56. He's about to hit the line any moment now for 14 laps complete. The Yamaha boys are going to be urging on Renaux. KTM are going to be urging on Herlings. He can't afford to sit behind Febvre and get caught napping. 3 laps to go. Herlings 53.1, his fastest lap of the race. 56.7 for Renaux. And there they are, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Herlings, you feel the impetus is with him. He is putting everything into these last 2 or 3 laps now. And he's gaining all the time on Renaux. And the way that Herlings is riding at the moment, he is going to pass both these guys before this race is done, surely. Febvre can sense there's riders closing in behind him, but none as quick as Herlings. Look at him just gaining hand over fist. This is going to be for the overall Grand Prix victory if he finds his way past Renaux. And he will try at the end of the straight, but he's denied by the Frenchman. They both go for the same line. What a comeback for Jeffrey Herlings. He looked like he was out of it for a while. He's just lost the toe ever so slightly. And Renaux knows he needs to get a hurry on. Can he make the pass stick here? Well, Febvre closing down the door, forcing Renaux to go the long way round. And it works to his advantage. He moves into 2nd position. Wow. But it's still down to Herlings to find his way past Febvre, because he needs those vital points. Febvre comes back to the inside. The 2 Frenchmen clash. Herlings will say, cheers, I'll take that. He goes around the outside. He's in 4th place. He's up into 3rd, and he runs him to the outside. Wow. And now Febvre looks across, sees Herlings closing in on him. He gets held up behind the Frenchman, and they are 3 abreast going into turn 4. What a race, what a final few laps. 2 to go. Febvre somehow hanging on to 2nd position. Renaux hanging on to 3rd. Heartbeats through the roof. Renaux finally gets the job done. Or does he? No, he doesn't. Wow. Herlings still a point of taking the overall Grand Prix victory. He needs to pass one of these riders for 3rd place. Doesn't matter who it is. And he's alongside Renaux again. He rehearsed this a lap ago. And this time it works. Herlings into 3rd place. And around the outside for 2nd immediately. We are looking at a potential Grand Prix winner here with Jeffrey Herlings. Renaux goes through as well. Wow. Febvre just getting bullied on this lap. And he's thrown in the towel. He said, I'm done, I've had enough. You guys want the points, you take it. So Herlings now up into second place. Maxime Renaux going into the final lap. He will want to do something about this. Coldenhoff can't afford to switch off, though. He's only 5 seconds clear. Look, there he is in the opposite corner. And Maxime Renaux third. Febvre now demoted down to fourth place. As it stands right now, Herlings will win the Grand Prix here. 14 months off the bike. His second Grand Prix back in action. He will go to the top of the Grand Prix classification. Look, 44 points for him. Coldenhoff will be denied on the penultimate lap. And as we said, can only do as much as he was doing. Herlings had traffic ahead of him. He could make the difference. Coldenhoff couldn't. 44, 41, 40. Jorge Prado will still finish on the podium. But Jeffrey Herlings what a ride from him. The final lap here. There was Jeffrey time, the last 10 minutes of the race. He put on a big push, a couple of big laps. Got a rider down there, a few corners from home. Coldenhoff can't afford to switch off. Don't think he's going to make that mistake, though, do you? But the run down towards the finish, a masterful display of riding from Glenn Coldenhoff. Equally impressive, Jeffrey Herlings. Out of the final turn, Glenn Coldenhoff will win the race. But Jeffrey Herlings, his fight through the pack, he will win the Grand Prix of Sardinia. What a ride for the Red Bull KTM rider. You have to go back to the 10th of November 2021 when he was crowned world champion for the 5th time for his last Grand Prix victory. He has put absolutely everything into it. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Coldenhoff wins the race. Herlings second. He cannot believe it. But crucially for Jeffrey Herlings, his 100th Grand Prix victory coming here in Sardinia. His 133rd podium. What a day for the Bullet. We'll give you the rundown of positions in a few moments' time. But I'm sure it's going to be an emotional podium, possibly, for Jeffrey Herlings. He just sat there like a dormant volcano, just waiting, waiting, waiting. That's how it seemed. The race came to him, all of a sudden, passes coming in quick succession. He passed Prado to get into 6th, Villandrin into 5th, Seewer into 4th, and then he passed Maxime Renaux and Romain Febvre on the same lap to move into 2nd with 2 to go. And the number 84 wins for the first time in 2023, first time since mid-November 2021. It's his 100th Grand Prix victory, just one behind Stefan Evert's 101 tally now. He said he might need a few rounds to get warmed up. Okay. Consider him nice and toasty then, shall we? Here's Lisa with Jeffrey Herlings. We've not heard from him from the winner's circle for a while. Here he is.
Jeffrey Herlings, 100th GP victory for you now. Didn't see that one coming at the end. I mean, where did that come from?
I kept charging till the end. You know, I've a local track's a little bit similar to this, and I spent hours and hours and hours on that track. So I knew I was going to be very physical in the second motor, and just my stars. I don't know. It's so much bad luck and wheel spin with the start, but you know, came from dead last, went out of the turn the first lap, and came from almost dead last to second and won the GP. So this is number 100, and let's keep going from here.
Thank you.
I'm sure he will sleep well tonight. Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM, on the top step of the podium once again. It's been a while, some 14 months or so. But the bullet gets it done. He knew it would be tough. But they don't come tougher than him, do they? Glenn Coldenhoff won the race, but Jeffrey Herlings wins the Grand Prix. 2 second places here today in Sardinia. Antonio Cairoli, his team manager, who has just the 94 Grand Prix victories. It's 194 Grand Prix wins between them. Glenn Coldenhoff picks up the 25 points then from Jeffrey Herlings and Maxime Renaux. Renaux and Febvre and Calvin Verlanderen rounding out the top 5. Jorge Prado comes home in 6th, maintains his championship leader's red plate. Siwa Van Donnick round out the top 8. 9th place for Albi Ferrato, and Paul Jonas coming home in 10th. Then we got Ruben Fernandez, who found his way into 11th on the final lap, passing Mattia Guadagnini. Ben Watson up to 13th on the final lap with his move on Paturel. And then we got Lupino, Koch, Alvin Osland, Valentin Guillot, Max Spies and Brian Bogus. Jeffrey Herlings goes 2-2. He wins in Sardinia for the 2nd time. But it's his 100th Grand Prix victory here this weekend in Riola Sardo. Glenn Coldenhoff and Jorge Prado join him on the podium. Slow march through the sand for the fans who want to witness the podium then. Championship look, just down to 7 points between Jorge Prado and Jeffrey Herlings, who moves up a couple of positions, brings Maxime Renaux with him. Romain Febvre drops to 4th, Coldenhoff up to 5th, and Verlanderen inside the top 6. Fernandez, though, the big loser this weekend, dropping from 2nd place overall to 7th.
Fornendoci uno spettacolo incredibile, per noi che amiamo questo sport è stata l'ennesima dimostrazione di quanto sia bello il motocross.
Manufacturers Championship, 2 points in it between Yamaha and GasGas. Yamaha jumping to the top of that leaderboard. KTM, though, aren't far behind, look, gaining another couple of positions. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Race 1 was Jeremy Siwa. Bit of bar banging going on, and it was Romain Febvre who bags it in race 2. 4 races, 4 different hole shots, winners. Got Jorge Prado, Glenn Coldenhoff, Jeremy Siwa, and now Romain Febvre adding his name to the list. We are going to have a wide open season again. I've just got that feeling. Make sure you tune in to MXGP of Switzerland in a couple of weekends' time. Saturday and Monday weekend, so we all get Sunday off. Strange, I know, but there you go. Friday, Saturday probably would have been better. The MXGP of Sardinia here at Riola Sardo. Jorge Prado on the podium. 65 podiums now for the Spaniard. 3rd overall for the 14th time in his career. Bagged his 65th race win in the first race. Glenn Coldenhoff back on the podium. And the Hoff, who last graced the podium with a victory in Finland last year, back on the podium, 2nd overall here. The return of the bullet, Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, 100 Grand Prix victories. He knew it would come. He's probably had that board in the back of the van in readiness for it. Look, 100 Grand Prix victories for the Red Bull KTM rider. 9-time world champion Antonio Cairoli. Never been up there before as a team manager. Look, you're in the wrong place, Tony. 94 victories of his own. What a podium that is. Fulvio Guido Mallorca, the MC Motor School Riola president, congratulating all three riders. Third overall, though, for Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. He's all smiles, but his gap, he's extended his lead as well in the process, but it's now out to 7 after all the racing today. Bruno Pera, Regioni Sardegna CONI president, handing the second place trophy to Glenn Coldenhoff, Monster Energy Yamaha. But a memorable day, a historical day in the career of Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. His 100th Grand Prix victory here at the MXGP of Sardinia. 2 second places for him. He knew it would be tough, but he dug in the deepest to make it happen. Glenn Coldenhoff coming so close, though. Had it not been for that late charge, it would have been him on the top step this weekend. Good effort from all three riders, though. Angelo Cocciu, the region of Sardinia councillor, handing the team manager's trophy. Team trophy, if you like, to Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, back on the top step again in MXGP for the first time since the last round in 2021 in Mantova. Antonio Alia Portela, the FIM CMS director, handing a red plate to Jorge Prado, who continues to lead the championship after 2 rounds. Next stop, Switzerland, round 3. Jeffrey Herlings, Glenn Coldenhoff and Jorge Prado, your winners here this weekend. Sardinia. Looked like he was trying to fight back the tears, Jeffrey Herlings. National anthem, though, for KTM, winning manufacturer. Jeffrey Herlings wins the MXGP of Sardinia here this weekend. Round 2 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Second overall, the Monster Energy Yamaha of Glenn Coldenhoff. Third, the Red Bull Gas of Jorge Prado. We, as always, will catch up with the top 3 after we've seen the highlights of race 2. What a race it was as well.
Grazie a tutti per essere stati con noi. Arrivederci ad Arco di Trento, Piedramurata fra 2 settimane per il terzo.
An absolute treat, MXGP race 2. Renaux and Febvre just edging out Jeremy Seewer for the foxhole shot as they bang bars on the way to the line. Jeffrey Herlings in around about 7th or 8th place, maybe even further back as he negotiated the first couple of corners. Rider off the side of the track there. But it was Coldenhoff who took over the lead immediately from his teammate Jeremy Seewer. Febvre was in 3rd, but there was Prado in around about 5th position, then going past Van Donning and Ruben Fernandez to move into 4th place. Fernandez, though, had his hands full. There was no sign of Jeffrey Herlings at this point, I don't think. Fernandez got it wrong here, though. He went down. He would eventually come home in 11th place. That pass on Guadagnini on the final lap But all eyes at the head of the field. Coldenhoff already disappearing. Febvre going past Seaward to take over second place. Prado back there in fourth, but then he got caught napping and got passed by Maxime Renaux. Closing in the background was Calvin Valandrin, but then Renaux and Seaward very close as they battled at the top of the hill. Valandrin then got his claws into Jeremy Seaward, thought he'd made the pass stick, caught the edge of the bank, went down. Valandrin went from fifth, picked himself back up in sixth, and then had to re-fight through the field. He made a pass again on Jorge Prado to move into sixth place. Behind them, Jeffrey Herlings. And he got the better of the Spaniard eventually. A nice move to the inside here, the shortest way through the turn, shut the door on the way out. That got him into sixth. He then went after Valandrin, moved into fifth. And then Jeremy Seaward, who got into a bit of a confrontation with the bank, just lost him a little bit of momentum, and Herlings was through into fourth. And then in the space of a lap, as Maxime Renaux moved into second with that move on Febvre, guess what? Herlings quickly to follow his way back onto the rear wheel. In fact, the Yamaha and the Kawasaki weren't done yet. They still argued over what was second position. Herlings got into third, then was shuffled back, and then in the space of the next half a lap, somehow, somewhere, as these two tripped each other up ahead of him, Febvre and Renaux getting second there momentarily. Herlings dug deep, found his way past Renaux. A couple of corners later, past Febvre. Third place would have got him the overall Grand Prix, but that pass on Febvre meant he'd got it by a comfortable margin. And then the final lap or so, Renaux also found his way past Febvre, but it was Coldenhoff who won the race from Herlings, Renaux, Febvre and Valandrin. But it was Herlings' second place finish that grabbed him the overall Grand Prix victory, and here he is with Lisa.
Jeffrey Herlings, you've been off the bike for 14 months, but you made history today. 100th GP victory. That late charge towards the end of that second race, that was just fantastic to watch. How was it from your seat?
It was physical, I can tell you that, but I saved a bit the first moto.